Hello guys, welcome to a new video. Today we will be showing you how to fly a plane in PTFS. Now, you might not know PTFS, or you might know what PTFS is and you're wondering how to fly. Now, flying in this game, pretty easy, but it's hard to beginners. Today I will be giving you an overview of all the stuff you can be doing, maybe all the planes and a few things. Just note that it's going to probably be a long video, and yeah. So yeah. Anyways, you're probably new and wondered, how can I fly in PTFS? Now, I found out by looking at the control panel, and maybe you should too. But that is the normal way, but some people need to watch someone doing it. And that's probably why you clicked on this video, or you just clicked on it for fun. So, yeah, let's spawn the one thing in. Today we will be going with the popular Airbus A320 and on the classic for me, EasyJet. Now, if you're wondering why the planes in this game do not have their real name, it's due to copyright. Because, yeah, copyright. But, yeah. So, I'm supposed to tell you guys, I'm just really used to flying in PTFS. Anyways, so what you need to do first is, wait, if I am correct, you spawn in with the engine off. So you click E if you're on PC or desktop, like I'm on. But if you're on the mobile, you should have a whole panel to the left or right of you. I personally never have played on mobile, but yeah. So for desktop, you press E and then P. It depends what type of position your gate is in. For jets, you usually park the other way around. But here, when you're an actual plane, you have to reverse. Now, you have to press P and use WASD. Alright, this is complicated. So you can either use the arrows on your keyboard or WASD on your keyboard. Now, this might seem weird. If you're more used to cars, you'll probably think, oh, it's S or the back space, like the arrow that's pointing towards you, that you need to press. But no, you have to press P and then push the arrow that's pointing towards your monitor or screen, or the W key. Hold it down until it's 100, and then there you go. You're going backwards. Now, if you take a look at these, you'll be able to see. But in this game, you do not need to use the keys that are A and D and left and right arrow. The only ones that are main in this game are the arrow pointing towards you and the arrow pointing towards the monitor. Now, on desktop, you use your mouse or keypad to move. So if you want, so it's mirrored basically. So if you want to turn towards the left, but you're going backwards, you'll need to continue with this and point it towards the right, and this will take you back. And also, you'll also need to use the S key to slow down with the reversing. Now, when we reach to this point, you have to press P again to go forward. And for the A320, I'd say go to 14 to 20 throttle. You can go a bit over that if you want, but that's my recommendation there. Um, there's a button for keybinds there if you're not sure on pressing, but yeah. Anyways, there should be a runway near your gate, and you need to taxi all the way to that runway. So yeah, as we see, I don't know why there's an Antonov following a baby A320 here, but who cares? Anyways, yeah, so you might see a bit of taxiways, but only go on them if you think they're pointing towards the runway. Now, this taxiway here, K1, is going to nowhere, to hangars. This airport's actually based off of Manchester Airport, and that would be the Jet2 holiday stand and everything. But yeah, but enough talking about real life or realism. We need to get to talking about how to get to the runway. Now, there's some people in this game that are not realistic at all and like to just go on the grass. So if they are starting to follow you, and yeah, increase your throttle by 28%, the throttle, and then slow down. There is jets, but that is probably for the next bit because those are complicated. They are not like airliners. So what you'll need to do here is take your preferred taxiway and turn onto the runway. Now you might be wondering, how do you take off? Now this is a question that I've probably heard, or you've probably heard, by a lot of people, because taking off is the hardest point in, and landing actually. Landing is harder, but this is a very big question and it's hard. I'll be honest. When I first tried it out, it was hard, but once you come to realize it, it's easy. So, what you do is you line your jet up, if only if you want to. There is H and Y, right? H is for pulling your flaps up all the way, and Y is for taking your flaps down. Now, beware, you need to click your H key for the amount of flaps you want. Now, when taking off, you need full flaps. Why? Because I think this is just for realism, but it does make it so you can take off better and a better flow and everything. You want to put W, hold down W all the way so it gets to 100%, so then you can get up to the sky. And you'll need to have your key or keypad all the way up like this, so you can have a fast takeoff and simple one. Once you're up high enough, unfortunately there isn't any gear logistics in this game so far, but there is one that you can push back, but that's for another bit in this video. Now, what you'll need to do now is press G for gears. This will automatically take in the gears for you, but there's no effects because that'll probably be coming soon or later. There is a big choice of islands and maps, but beware, do not press your space key while in flight or else you'll jump and land in the water. You don't want that or else your whole flight progress will be gone, but here. Now, once you've reached a certain altitude, like 2,500 feet, press Y until you see that flap thing there go down. Once you see it to 0, there is a few options while in flight. You can be cruise mode, but you have to be 1,000 feet. That's the minimum altitude for it. But you can press altitude hold, which makes you still go, just like you're holding your altitude and you cannot move. Now, there's also the C key, which I've had some problems in the past, which it locks you in position and makes you into a unbearable turn. And yeah, you can see there, camera lock. But, camera mode I mean. But, you can also choose for advanced and camera lock. Camera lock and advanced is my favorite way because you can control the plane a lot more realistically. But, since you're a beginner, you should not use any of the X and the Z keys, or Z. depending where you're from, as these can really mess up with your experience, already. Now, because it's not just taking off, you also need to land. That's the key fixtures of flying. And landing, if I'm going to be honest, is the hardest bit, because you need to get to a certain speed, line up with the runway, and much more. But I do have a trick for this. So first, you want to line up with the runway, alright? Try to slow down your throttle to 80 so you can get ready to slow down. As obviously your knots are going down slowly to the point. For me, I'd recommend 50 once you get to a point where you're on final approach. And yeah. There's also ATC in this game. And yeah, they sometimes boss you around, but only let them boss you around if you want to. Because I've been bossed around a few times, and listen, ATC take a lot of time. I mean a lot. If you think you're going slow, just increase the thing. Now, I'm going to do what you should never, ever. I'm kidding. I'm not going to land at a small airport. But I'm going to use advanced and X for this, which you shouldn't do only if you wanted there, because like I'm experienced. You might not be experienced, but we're going to go down for Greater Rockford because I'm not going to use that while I'm trying to teach you guys, or else it'll be bad. Now, you can also go in camera. There's also FOV, but do not move that. Try to touch with anything, because your plane will go in the direction of where your mouse is. Now, obviously, right here, you need to slow down all the way to 40, 30, 20, something, so you can get to a reasonable height. Speed, I mean. If you are going so fast and you cannot get that, press P and W all the way until you get to 100. This will significantly slow you down, but only do this if you're on an absolute final, because I was on an approach there, but now I'm on final, which, yeah, you can see you get to landing speed. Now, this game will provide you with landing speed, but there's also a bit where you can stall, and you don't like that happening. So try to keep away from stalling and landing speed, but if you're on final, yeah, you can use that. There you go, a smooth butter landing. But the problem with the long runway here is that you have to turn around. So that is the logistics. But then, now, you need to learn about the jets. Now, jets are not like airliners. They are very different, very different. Very different. And when I mean very different, I mean very different. These bad boys are very fast. And I mean very fast. There's some bomber planes and stuff like that, but let's stick with the jets today. So if I go here, there is this is not the jet bit. So there's modern military or old military. We're going to have a look in the modern military today. As you can see, it's not just jets you can pick from. You can pick from the A-10 Warthog to the Sukhoi Su-57. This is modern military. There's more than this. But today I'm going to go with my favorite, the Eurofighter Typhoon, and in my favorite color, black. Now, you might be wondering, why did I specifically do this? Is because it's quite fast, but not very fast, and probably good for beginners. I'd recommend not going on the F-16s and that, but that's Game Pass, so yeah. Tomcats go really fast. There's also Concorde, but that's for a different video. Well, I've already done a video on that, but not really how to fly it, but I'm sure you'll find that somewhere. Anyways, it's quite fast. Now we're gonna Yeah, so it's fast and it's a lot different from flying a airliner because this time you can do the exact same things, but on some you don't have the choice of flaps, which can be annoying for people that like using flaps. Now the flaps aren't really necessary, but you can play around with them or have them. But yeah. Anyways, it's literally the same thing, just like you have to mess around with the throttle earlier, or else you're gonna land in the middle of nowhere and probably overrun the runway, which you really don't want. Especially in places like Airbase Gary, you can really get like overrun. So what we're gonna do here, do exactly what you did before in the airliner, just like get ready for anything because you will be going fast at high speed. Um, Instead we're going to go to this. Now, I know I'm not gaining enough speed to show you guys how fast you could go, but I'd recommend going to 50 or 40 before reaching, and then plummet all the way down to 5, or just entirely 0, or just 1. Because, yeah, it's really hard, but there's someone there right now, but who cares if we go to Baltic Airfield? Anyways, it's a hard plane. Jets are a hard plane to fly. Like, I literally agree with what you say, but obviously, you have to land a jet one day. And as you see, I'm stalling, which you really don't want because I'm really bad at like, oh god, that was scary. Anyways, you go down, touchdown, and yeah, you just need to slow down and then do reverse thrust because sometimes you don't make it time. Anyways, that's all for the jets. I mean, they're cool things. Now, a thing that some of us don't like. From the wide range of what you can select, there is some planes out there that are called light aircraft. Now, these are the basic aircraft, the ones you see not every day at an international airport. But here, you can choose if you want. Now, obviously, there's loads of Cessnas here. There's a Cirrus Vision, and today I will be going with the Cirrus Vision S50. Now, some of these are turboprop planes, which mean they are planes with not jet engines but propellers. And now you can choose from big propeller and jets, not jet airliners, but that's like the Q400 or ATS 172. Those are small and slow aircraft that go up to 500 knots, which is quite fast, but still, yeah. So the Cirrus Vision, I'm not sure how fast it goes, but we're gonna go with blue and grey, and that's a slick color. But this is a jet engine, and it's quite fast for its small size. Now there's flaps on this one, and the reason I'm going in this oh shoot, I forgot. We're supposed to be focusing on propeller engine things, not the small type. I apologize for that. I just wasted your damn time. Might edit that out of the video. Anyways, you go to light aircraft, select one. Today I'm actually going to go with this is now 172. You can change. You can pick from which ones, but if you're really new to the game and you've never joined before, you can have like a student testing. Those things are like not the best if you're focusing on airliners, which I do, because you see airliner there. You can choose from a wide variety. Like I have the Antonov Game Pass C-130. That's a jet engine plane, not a jet engine. My bad. I mean turboprop. So yeah, and I'm just saying, if you're like impatient, yeah, like me, do not go with these turboprop vehicles because they're really not fun if you're impatient. But I'm still gonna show you because, well, why not? And you need to be careful with what you touch because sometimes if you clicky like this, your engine will slow down and stop midair, and then you'll be gliding. But in this game, you'll stall and fall all the way to the ground, just like this. You'll go to land speed, but then you'll stall and then go into a fatal spin. Of course, I don't want to stall, so I'm going to increase my speed. And yeah, there is an actual runway down here if you didn't know, but I'm not going to land there because, well, yeah, I'm not going to. There's also an Easter egg in this plane, and it says Aggie, so pretty cool, but not cool. It's only, but bleh. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, it'd be really, 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 really weird if you saw a small plane like this landing at an international airport. Personally, I don't like turboprop planes, but sometimes I do. They're quite cool because it's super easy to land and everything. Okay, enough of me blubbering. Let's get this landing. You'll also need to line up correctly, which I'm not a pro at, but obviously I can't do it. For the Cessna 172, I'd recommend going to 70, because, well, it's a fast plane. I'm kidding. It's a very slow plane, so 70 is quite enough for it. Or just go all the way to 30, which I kind of recommend. But I'm just going to turn my engine. I'm kidding. Just leave at 20. And we're going to stall, if you remembered earlier. Okay. Heavy crosswind. But if there's crosswind, you'll automatically land in where you want to land. So, yeah. Really cool. But once you're on the ground, it won't affect you at all. Now, as you see, there's an A350 there, I think. So, let's just cross paths with it. I'm kidding. Actually, yes, let's do that. So, yeah. Okay, so now we're finished with the turboprops. Let's move on to different stuff, like different types of planes and what you can do. Now, it's already been a long video, and yeah. Let's delete this vehicle. What the... Anyways, yeah, anyways, let's get over here and spawn in a plane, and then we'll get some things that you can do for role-playing. Yay! Super cool, right? So yeah, today we're gonna be using the Q400, and let's get a Canadian. Or Air Canada. Now, you can go to the ground crew station. Now, some airports don't have this, and some do, but most international airports in this game do have these. Now, there's a large variety, but there's a game pass where you can have a fire truck, and it actually works. If you press L on your keyboard, you can have lights on and a siren, but my audio isn't on because, yeah. There's also, if you hold down click, you can also fire some water. Now, if we go back to the vehicle spawner, you can also spawn in a pushback tug. Now, some planes that are small need a different sized one. Now, this is the biggest one, and I'm not going to use that because we have the Q400, which needs the long bar pushback tug, which is probably like the others, just that it needs this specifically because, yeah, it's a smaller plane. Now, obviously, this game doesn't have that type of logistics, which makes it whirl around weirdly, but yeah. Some plane, you actually can, but if you want to be more realistic, you can use a pushback tug. but they do have a reverse rest. So yeah. And then for the person that's in the plane, it'll have a attach detach thing, but that's if they have a pilot, like accept or deny. For me, because there's no one in it, it'll be this. Now it has inverted controls for like if you're like the plane. You can also choose from disconnecting or connecting it. So yeah. And the plane will turn on itself, by the way. So yeah. And then detach. And there you go. That's how you push back. Now, I'm going to show you what's the second biggest plane in the game. It is the drum roll, please. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. The A380. My favorite livery on it is British Airways because it's pretty cool. You won't know why, but this thing is very hard to control because it's big. I'm kidding, it's not that hard, but it's pretty hard to maneuver because it's fat. Anyways, the next one, yep, is the biggest one in the game and used to be in the world, but now it's gone. Yes, it's the Antonov An-225 Maria. This thing is gigantic. I mean, it's like 2 times the size of the British Airways, well, A380. So yeah, you can also choose if you want to open it, which takes a long time. So I'm just gonna get out of it. Anyways, yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. This took me a long time and it's probably going to take me a long time to edit. If it did help you out, thanks for watching. Goodbye.